That was fancy.
That is a snazzy intro. What
That
the
was
heck?
Isn't that
super
amazing?
fancy.
Oh my
Holy
God,
crap.
my friend Dale composed that for us. Shout out to Dale. What a champ, what a hero, what a
That was
good
solid. I like that.
amazing, right?
Who else has an intro like that for food?
I know. It's so jazzy and fun. Oh
Oh my
Lord.
God, I guess we're just jumping right into it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We gotta
this is gonna be hard for me because every time I say Emily, I might get two responses.
I know. Okay,
Oh,
okay, so
yeah.
we're here for anyone watching. Oh no, I think our views went down. So this is for posterity, for the people who watch us in hindsight. We're here, FoodTaku Podcast, back with episode 9. I'm here with my co-host Paul, and we've got
Hey.
special guest Emily Emirichu from YouTube.
Hello.
From YouTube. And we're here today to just have a good time and talk a little bit about specifically anime cafes and stuff like that.
Oh,
'cause
my favorite.
I
No
know
joke.
your favorite thing.
Like every time you release one of those videos, it's like watch now, make coffee, don't do anything else.
Oh, really?
I love them. Like
Oh, thank you.
I'll gush a little bit because I'm like every time you post one of them, I was like, yeah, research time because I I want to find out. I need to know all the good spots. I'm
Yeah.
like pretty stoked about that.
Paul's coming to Japan in October of this year. right?
October?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's doing research,
I'm
getting
doing
ready to go.
research. I don't know if you can
Yeah.
see me. I'm doing air quotes. Research.
Well, it's funny though because anime cafes they come and they go so fast. I mean,
I
like,
know they do. Like sometimes I look at like the anime cafes that I missed out on when I wasn't living here, like back in 2020, and I'm like, God, these look amazing. I'm so sad. I'm never gonna get to go to this again.
oh, I know the tragedy. It hurts because they're only around for like maybe 2-3 months at the most if they're like temporary ones, and then
Yeah.
they're gone. You'll never get that chance again.
And then you
it-
gotta
the-
wait for like a 10-year anniversary or something.
exactly. And it's like, who knows where I'll be in 10 years? Will I even be here? Will I be alive? Who knows at that point? Oh, it hurts so much.
Do you think that it's kind of sad, right? Because like I'm watching your videos of going to all these cool looking cafes, and some of them are hit or miss, right?
Mhm.
I literally have taken notes, and it's so bad. Do you think that it's a benefit that they're fleeting? Like you have to go and then it's gone after a month or whatever, just
I
because it kind of acts like how anime is during the season?
Yeah, I think so. It's like you know, like how the McRib is like not that good, but
Yeah,
every time
yeah.
every time it comes around, everyone goes ape shit for it because it's like it's only here for a limited time.
It's so good. Yeah.
I feel like it's sort of like that. Like the time exclusivity makes it like more you
More
need to
like-
go.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
That's such a perfect analogy for this situation because I don't know, I genuinely haven't been to that many like good anime cafes. I've been to my fair share. I went to an Inuyasha cafe for the release of the new series. I've been to a bunch and I can't remember them, which I think is like a problem because
Oh my God, none of them were good.
not really. Not really. I think I went to oh god, I did the Demon Slayer collab that they were doing at the gyudon place. That was terrible.
Oh,
Oh,
you told
no.
me. I think I remember that video of like you posted of the Demon Slayer Gyudon,
Yeah.
and you're like,
It
bro,
was
what is this?
yeah, was it Skia? Something like that. Yeah, that was horrible. I've been to a couple of Sailor Moon anime cafes. I think that's like the most that I've been to, and
Mhm.
they sometimes turn up in the weirdest spots. Like I went to an anime cafe in a train station once, and it was just for Sailor Moon, like randomly, and I was like, okay,
What? Was it like a
yeah,
full-fledged like cafe or was it
yeah,
just like
yeah. It
oh,
was.
wow.
It was. It was kind of like a little walkthrough place, and actually, that was probably the best anime cafe that I've ever been to. Like the food was pretty good. But yeah, I feel like they're very transient, and I feel like what they really focus on is like that wow, like Instagram factor a little bit. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
100%. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I have to say, we didn't even intro Emmy, did we? Like we
Yeah.
briefly.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I want to say for people who are listening, should I call you Emmy and then Emily? Is that okay? Just so we We know. Emmy, do you want to say like what you do on YouTube? I like because we kind of know. I'm kind of
Yeah, yeah.
fangirling. So
Oh.
if you just want to tell the people, because we know what you do. You're
Oh,
very
yes,
special
of
to us in
course.
the anime community.
Hello, welcome. What's the best way to describe? I draw on YouTube.
Yeah,
I do a lot of videos that are focused on like I'll narrate a story or I'll illustrate a conversation with friends. Usually has something to do with my art, and I'll always
Mm.
draw it out. Although recently, a lot of my videos have been about my experience living in Japan so far.
I love it.
So it's been a lot of fun.
It's
Yeah,
been fun.
you've been here now for a year? Almost?
Oh,
Half a year.
it'll be a year in April. I
That's
A
can't
so
do
year in
math.
April
exciting.
I
already?
think it's. I know. I can't believe
What?
it's. I know.
That's
No
crazy. Oh
way.
my god. Do you feel like you're like how are you loving Japan? I mean, I assume that you're loving Japan. How are you liking it here to
Oh, I
live here?
love it. I really do love it. I don't miss California. I'm sorry,
California. Oh.
I
California.
don't
I'm
blame you, dude. I
sorry.
used to live in California. I do miss the sunshine every now and then because I look outside in Oregon and it's like, damn, it's still gray. Like
Yeah.
it's been gray outside for 2 weeks and I could use a little bit of sun in my life. But other than that,
Oh.
not. I do miss going
Yeah.
out. So,
I think I really needed a change in scenery and just
mhm,
like a new life experience. And also
Mm,
cuz like I don't have any attachment to any particular like area.
mm,
mhm.
So I'm able to just like kind of go about life right now a bit carefree
Which is
where
cool.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't want to settle anywhere anytime soon.
yeah,
I
yeah.
I actually I wonder about that because my wife and I we really want to travel, right? And
Mhm.
for me, traveling is about like experiencing food and culture and like going to museums and all that other stuff, but it makes
Yeah.
me feel more creative. Does that feel like how it's been for you?
Oh, 100%.
That's cool. I love that. Like
Yeah, it
what's
gets
been,
the creative juices running.
I
yeah,
was
and
gonna say,
it kind
yeah,
of
it feels
shows
like
in your videos.
yeah, it will oh yeah, I would agree
Like,
with
dude,
that.
like
I
the
feel
bento, that was pretty good.
Oh,
I
really?
gotta say,
Thank
I watched the
you.
bento video. I was like, I wouldn't have made all of that. That's a lot of work. You
I was
know, of the,
I was actually worried about that one because
Oh
I'm always
no.
worried if I ever do a video where a lot of it is like B-roll or
yep.
Mm,
like video footage because I'm
it's
not a
not gonna like
vlogger.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a different beast.
Yeah, so
Mm,
I'm still even if I do video where like most of it is like video footage, I still want to like throw drawings in there just so it still feels like my style.
feels like an Emily video.
Yeah,
Which
I think
I think is
yeah.
smart. Yeah, like transition along kind of thing. You're not hoping to like I know there are some people on YouTube that go through a journey of like they're like, "Oh, this is who I used to be and I did this thing and now I'm kind of moving into something else." You're not trying to transition away from drawing at all, are you? Are you still trying to
No,
like
never. Oh god, absolutely. I love to draw.
Oh, good.
Um,
I know everyone loves seeing what you come up with, so that's good to hear.
oh thanks. Yeah, I know. I never want to transition into like um just becoming a
Anything
vlogger
else.
or like a
Yeah.
travel YouTuber. I feel like I've always operated like just kind of making what I want.
Mm.
So I want to continue doing that, but still incorporating my art.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
that. I love that a lot. Do you think because you've started doing a little more like live stuff, it's the artwork will then now be like complementary to that? Like you'll use both, right, in certain ways?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And the other nice thing is if I do use video footage, I don't have to draw as many drawings. So I can upload like a bit more frequently than I used to, which is nice. Like it feels good whenever I upload and people are like, "Oh my god, like you're really pumping these out." And I'm like, "Yeah, cuz I don't
You're
have
like,
to
yeah, I
draw
did two
like
videos in
200
2 months.
drawings for a video."
Oh.
Hey, respect. I couldn't even imagine. Like my drawing skills are basically zero, and I could not even imagine like storyboarding all of that, right? Like the
Mhm.
thought process that goes into essentially like you're drawing a book every single time you post a video. That's what it feels like, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's hard enough
Yeah.
to just like make something and film it well. and you're over here like making actual art, and I just can't. I can't even comprehend. Like, okay, how many hours would you spend for like a single 12 to 15 minute video, like drawing?
Oh, oh man. Oh God. Maybe
I think
Like
people
too
should
much to
know,
count.
right? Like,
maybe like a little over 2 weeks.
yeah,
Ah,
like it's
Like,
a
okay,
lot.
if I totally know life it, I can get it done in like 2 weeks. But
Yeah, but then your hand is like
I
decrepit and
like
dead.
having some semblance of a life though.
Yeah.
So it takes a
yeah.
bit longer.
Yeah, you can't commit 100%. I mean, I used to be able to just like buckle down and do nothing but like working for YouTube or whatever, but I can't anymore. And I feel like moving to Japan actually like ruined that for me because now there's so much to do that I'm like, okay, like I want to work on my videos and stuff,
Yeah.
but also
Yeah,
Mhm.
and sometimes people will be like, "Hey, you want to go try this thing you've never tried before?" And I'm like, "Yes."
yeah, I know. Yeah,
Do
like of
you do you
course I
think
do.
do you think those decisions kind of, because all of us have done the social media thing, right? Do you think those decisions sometimes like nod the back of your mind? You're like, damn, this could be a really cool video, but at the same time, I just want to enjoy it,
Mhm.
right? Like, do you guys ever feel that way sometimes? I feel that sometimes. Like,
Yeah, actually that's been a problem for me in the past where I like confuse work a little bit with just like me wanting to have fun and have a good time. And
mhm,
sometimes it's a little hard because back when I was like really doing more of like a vloggy style stuff, I would go to these cool experiences. Like I went to a couple anime cafes and recorded it and kind of did what Emily does like way more now. Um but it would just be really hard because I would be there with my friend, and instead of, like, having a fun conversation with them or, like, catching up with them, I would be like, "Okay, I need to get B-roll of this, and this, and I hope you're ready to eat
right.
because even if you're not that hungry, I'm ordering everything on the menu, and we better finish it because this is Japan, and it's like you should I try not to leave food behind because it's kind of you can't take anything home here.
Yeah.
Um, and so it just kind of became hard for me, and that really drove me into switching up what I do online and, like, the kind of content creation that I am focusing on,
Mhm.
because I don't know about you guys, but, like, when I go out to do stuff or, like, in Japan, there's so much cool stuff to do here that when I'm out, I don't wanna be thinking about, like, "Okay, I need to film this vlog and, like, catch everyone up on what I'm doing." Like, I just wanna live in the moment a little bit, you
Mhm.
know?
Mhm.
That's kind of what I feel about like, so Emmy, you've been in Japan for almost a year, and I feel like when we plan our trip for October, because we're not going to be there very long, we're going to be there for maybe 3 weeks, and we're planning on, the goal is to film 12 videos in 3 weeks.
Jesus.
So yeah, right.
What the heck?
Yeah, dude, we're going in, right? Like, I already have 8 of the video titles ready, like thumbnails are getting made, and it's like, and
This
I'm not
guy.
even there yet, right? I'm not even there yet.
This guy.
Um,
This
and
way too on top of
Yeah,
things.
wait, what? I
I
feel as
could
far as
never.
hell.
we're going
This
big, dude.
guy.
Like, trying to get that damn food truck out here. So, what like the one regret that I know I'm going to have about this trip is not having time to like it really enjoy it, like no cameras kind of thing. Um,
Oh,
and
like yeah.
yeah, so if you were to pick like the top, let's say 3 things, because five is a lot to think of off the bat, like the top 3 things you would do of just like enjoying it, right? No cameras, no social media, nothing. What would those 3 things be out there that you've experienced in the last year?
Mm.
Oh man. Mm, three things. If I were to go to Japan just to visit, and I wasn't gonna film anything or make a video about anything, definitely. Okay, first one would definitely be cherry blossom viewing, which I
Okay.
know is like a super basic answer,
It's
but
not basic. You're
No,
so
it's
right.
legit though. That's
You're
something I do
so
want to
right.
do, so that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and that is actually something I did without having the intention to make a video about it or film it because
Mm.
I think it was I had moved like I caught cherry blossom season just in time when I first moved.
Mm.
Hmm.
And I remember I was just floored at how gorgeous it was in person.
How pretty. And Hanami viewing is one of those things where I feel like you that's the thing where you're just going to look at flowers, right? There's nothing to film. It's just
Yeah.
you and you're putting down a blanket and you're pulling out your like lunch or your conveni food or whatever you brought with you and you're chatting with your friends I think like one of the most peaceful hanami viewing I've ever had is like we just took all our snacks from the kombini and sat down. My friend pulled out her sketchbook. I pulled out my book. Like we were just like hanging out outside, and it was
I love
really,
that.
yeah, really nice and peaceful.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I really want to do something like that because I feel like the one time I visited Japan was way too long ago because I'm old as hell, right? So it was like 2008. I visited when I was 22, and when I
You
was
were
out there,
22 in 2008?
I know,
yeah,
right?
dude, I'm old. I turned 36 this year, so we're going big for the
It
next
doesn't
12 years.
feel. I am always like shocked because it doesn't feel like you're old. Like I don't
That's because I
know.
still cosplay for every convention and
Yeah.
I act like a 12-year-old. Like I have Pikachu
See?
shoes downstairs, right? Like it doesn't matter.
You got to keep
Like
yourself young.
you do. Otherwise,
To
like
be fair,
yeah.
I don't consider 36 to be old.
No,
I,
it's not.
I don't think it is either. In the anime community, it can be, but what's interesting is you see a lot more anime fans in their 30s now because we've all kind of like grown up, but
Yeah.
now like we have the power, right? Like
Yeah.
a friend of mine is the director of Anime NYC, and he's only a few years older than me, right? So it's like, damn, like he legit started Anime NYC, and like that's his thing, right?
Mhm.
And you have to think, okay, what constitutes being old in the anime community these days? I feel like when I was 22, that was technically being old and enjoying anime because like I
Yeah.
started watching anime when I was like 7 or whatever it was,
Mm.
you know. So now I think like, damn, I'm getting up there. So got to try to like get all
Yeah.
the anime in while you can and you're not jaded, right? So when but to kind of go back, like when I visited Japan in '08, the most peaceful thing I did, this was in Kyoto. And Kyoto is by far my favorite destination. It was there's like this main drag and it might be like the main shopping area. I
Mm.
don't know. I was just like skating around Kyoto and I found like a little park that it felt like you couldn't hear anything else, right? Like once you entered the
Ah.
park, it was this weird, surreal feeling, and it was at dusk. Or is it which one's the one when the sun goes down? Is that twilight?
Dusk.
Dusk. Okay, we're
Dusk.
going with dusk.
I mean,
We don't want to
both
talk about.
Twilight and Dusk.
Okay, we're doing that one. The sun starts to go down, right? And then like you walk into this park area and you just walk like 20 feet and you sit on a bench. You can literally hear nothing. It was like the most peaceful thing. I'm like, I want to experience a lot of that. That would be that would be amazing. I don't know.
Mm.
I think there's a lot of spots in Japan you could go to and just kind of like chill, right? As busy as
Yeah.
the cities are.
Yeah, and I think I mean, personally, I've been traveling for a very long time and going hither and thither, and I've recently just come to the realization that like the best thing you can do when you're traveling is just experience it. And
Mhm.
Oh yeah,
and
100%.
oftentimes, and like it doesn't have to be expensive. Like there's a lot of cool experiences you can have in Japan, but one of the best ones ever is just going into a park with a like kombini beer and like a stick of
Hell
fried
yeah.
chicken
Yep.
and like hanging out, watching people go by, enjoying life, like relaxing, living in the moment in this like totally new place. And like to kind of take it back of like being inspired by travel and that kind of thing. I I personally think that going and putting yourself in a different experience, a different moment, a different kind of like mindset will do so much to unlock your creative juices and your creative potential. I always get so inspired when I'm traveling to like I don't know. I personally really like to write, so I'll like go home and I'll like pull out my like book that I'm working on and be like just like go to town on it. So yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Eh,
know.
So on that note, Emmy, what's been the one cafe that's actually inspired you to try to be more creative, right? Of all the ones that you've visited
Oh
so
my
far.
God. There's one
That's
I
a good
went to
question.
recently that was actually it was the most creative one I've ever been to. So, have you guys seen Nichijo?
Yeah, yeah,
Nichijou,
yeah.
no, I haven't.
Ah, Paul, you
I don't
horrible
know.
person.
Is it a shoujo?
I
No, it's like a
no.
comedy.
Yeah, it's like a what's it called? Yonkoma or something. It is a 4-panel manga, I think, that got adapted.
Okay.
Like that's the style. Yonkoma, I think is what it's called.
Mhm.
And it's just like a series of comedy
Okay.
bits, kind of, I guess. Is that right, Emily? Like, is that how you
Yeah,
describe it? Yeah.
it's very funny.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. So
So
how's the
definitely worth
cafe?
watching. Okay, yeah. Okay, so was this the
So,
one?
yeah, so I went to this one recently. I think I went like a few
You
days
just
ago.
Did you post about this online? I feel like I saw
I
this.
think it was your last video,
Joey
right?
did. Joey
Oh,
posted a
because
Oh,
Joey
vlog on
posted.
his
I
second
remember seeing
channel.
that. Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And so usually when I go to an anime themed cafe, typically what they'll do is they'll either have the food like sort of in the shape of one of the characters,
Yeah.
or they'll have like regular food but just have like the wafer papers of the characters stuck
Mhm.
into it or something, which is like
Yeah.
one of the low effort ones.
Yeah.
This this one I was so excited for because each menu item was a reference to a moment in the manga or the anime.
That's cool. I like that.
It was amazing. Like, I'll have to send
Oh.
pictures, but
Yeah.
one of my favorite
Yeah.
things I ordered was this plate of curry rice, and there
I'm
was like
so
a
hungry.
it was like a little metal pot like tipped over where the curry was coming out of on your plate with the
I love
ladle.
that. Yeah.
And that was
cute.
supposed to be a reference to like a scene where the girls go camping and they accidentally spill their curry rice. So it literally looks
Oh,
So
like a
that's
spilled
cute.
pot of
Okay.
curry rice. It's
That's
so
cool.
cute. It's
See,
amazing.
like, yeah, see, that sounds sick, right? Where it seemed like in a lot of the places you visited, it was kind of just like a little trinket or something that was just like a
Yeah.
picture, right?
Yeah.
That to me sounds super fun and
It's like
creative.
they
Yeah,
know the
it was-
show and they're working with it and trying to like riff on it.
Right.
Yeah. And I think one of the things where I was like, oh my God, this is such a creative cafe was so there's a scene in Nichijou where one character asks another character to get her yakisoba, but she
Yeah.
mishears and she thinks she says yakisaba. So she brings her like this takeout container with a fried mackerel on the inside. And then they have like a huge fight about it, right? So Joey noticed that there was yakisoba on the menu and he was like, oh, I'll order the yakisoba. So he orders the yakisoba and they
That's
bring
funny.
out a takeout menu and he opened it and it was a single piece of fried mackerel on the
That's funny.
inside. It's
That's
so
Oh my God.
funny.
You can't even
Oh
be
my
mad
God.
at that.
Yeah,
can't even
you
be
can't
like
be
that's
mad.
just on you, bro. Like you can't even
amazing.
be mad, right? I love
Oh.
that. See, like those little, it's the stuff that the fans will
Yeah.
notice, right? Like
Yeah.
I want to go to those cafes where,
Yeah.
maybe you order something and it's like something is only in the manga, right? Or something that happened in the anime. Like I want to go see
Yeah.
that. Okay,
Yeah.
now I'm gonna
like
go. I'm gonna go watch Nichijou and then try to go visit this cafe.
I love cafes where I like replicate stuff from the anime. It's always like it just adds that extra. It almost makes the food taste better, in
It
my
does. It's the
opinion.
experience, right? It's
I
like
think so.
I
Like
100% think that, and you guys would probably think this too. Like food in general has like if there's no feeling behind it, it doesn't
Mhm.
taste as good. I don't know. It just like for me, it's like my childhood is like going to In and Out, right? And then you're paying $4 or $5 for a burger and just sitting there in the sun and enjoying it. And it's an In and Out burger. It's good, but like it's that experience of doing it.
Well, yeah, it's
Mhm.
like a moment, a kind of like a whole vibe with everything going on around it. But like this is like on food shows, the recipes that always win are the recipes with like a story behind it, where or they're like, we're gonna make a 3-course meal, and I'm gonna take you through the journey of like a medieval peasant in England in 1590 and how they start their day with this, like something stupid like that, right? I have been watching a lot of Iron Chef lately, but anyway,
Oh
um,
no.
I feel like what you're describing, like Emily, is very much of this kind of thing of like there's a story behind what you're eating, you know where it comes from in the show, and you have that reference, and it kind of like makes it fun, and that's why like if you were to go to like a Food Wars cafe or something, it would be honestly, in my opinion, it would be like such a letdown if it was just like here's curry rice and like here's this
You know,
thing and
that makes
here's
me
Yeah.
wonder
picture.
if there has been a Food Wars cafe because I
Nah,
feel like
man. It's not,
the
I'm gonna
bar would
start
be
the first
so
one.
high.
The
I'm gonna
bar
start
would
the
be
first
incredibly
one.
high.
Watch.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's one of my goals is to like let's serve Food Wars food to normies and then tell them it's anime food, right? Like you just want it to be so good, but then the anime fans know,
Yeah.
But
They're
you're
like,
right. Like the bar for that would be so. If
You
if you had a Food Wars pop-up cafe in Japan, you better bring some heat, Otherwise, people are gonna be like, "What is this?" Like
yeah.
my clothes are still on. I didn't have the orgasm. None of this makes sense.
You
I
know
think
what probably won't happen, but I
Hmm.
would love to experience one day.
Hmm.
I want there to be a collab between an anime and like a gourmet restaurant.
Okay,
Could
no,
you
I
imagine?
Let's
have
do it.
seen something
Let's
like
just
that.
do
No,
it.
I've seen
Really?
something like that. Yes, I saw one example of this when I was this was when I was really into like anime cafe researching. This was maybe before the pandemic. Pandemic happened, everything changed. But before then I was super into anime cafes. I was going all the time and I saw a Demon Slayer cafe and there were a bunch going around at the same time, but there was one that was like in a real restaurant with like
Mm.
real food and the menu was really nice looking and I was like, oh, that looks incredible. I don't know why I didn't go. I think I think it had ended like the weekend before and I only
Damn
like
it!
found
I
it.
know that
I
time
know.
exclusivity, man.
Yeah, it hurts, but like that kind of thing would be so much fun. That would be so cool.
I think it could happen. It would just require like it's hard because if it's just like a Demon Slayer restaurant that's in and up, it's done in a real restaurant or whatever it is, that real restaurant has to change up their entire menu, their entire strategy, and then it's like, well, what if it doesn't do well? Like you're taking a serious hit. And I think if you did it, instead you do like a special, like a couple of specials, right?
Mm,
Maybe it's a really cool
Mhm.
restaurant that does 3 or 4 Demon Slayer items, right? Maybe
mm.
that could work because then they're not changing up their whole thing.
Yeah. But in a dream world, there would just be a restaurant dedicated to like each month they're doing a different anime collab and they get
So
100 bajillion people. In Japan,
yeah.
I think it would really work because that's what all these anime
Yeah.
cafes are. They're just
Mhm.
like the Nichijou one, was that in Shibuya Parko?
Yes, it was.
Yeah, and like that one in Shibuya Parko, it's just an interchangeable like restaurant cafe.
Okay.
I think different groups like rent the space and do like different stuff in it. And like they only run for a month. Like it sells out. I mean, we were just trying to get tickets to the Oron High School host cafe,
Oh, that'd be super
which
fun.
was a tragic occurrence
No,
for me
I'm
and
so
Emily, but
sorry.
no. Emily got sick, and so she's like, "I don't feel good." I was like, "We shouldn't go." In Japan, you really shouldn't go places when you're sick. They don't
Yeah,
like
that
it.
fever thermometer would have clocked me anyway.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
take
yeah.
the little
You would have
thermometer
been
gun, just
got.
like beep beep.
I would
Yeah.
have been
Yeah,
got.
Yeah,
you would have been got so
you just
fast.
get drop kicked back to your apartment.
Yeah, basically. And then I got sick literally like a day later. You can probably hear us both like coughing
Yeah,
and
right?
sniffling. So we were gonna go, but it was so sad because I knew Emily knew like if we didn't go, there's no way we're going back to it. Like
I mean,
you
That's
can't
honestly,
go.
the
nuts.
food was ass anyway. So you weren't missing out on anything.
Yeah,
At least just say
yeah.
it like it is, like I think there's something to be said because that sucks. Like because when I was watching one of your videos, it seems like such a process to just get into the place. And then you
Yeah.
get into the place and you're like, bro, what is this food? What
Yeah.
the hell, right?
Like,
Why
why
did I
am I
wait two
here?
months, 2 months and hundreds of dollars or whatever it is to get in and buy stuff? And the
Yeah,
food is ass. Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten pretty good at being able to tell whether or not the food's gonna taste good just by looking at the menu.
Yeah.
So there's been a few cafes where I liked the anime, but I
Mm.
didn't go because I knew the food wasn't gonna be good just because I could tell. But the Oron one is the one that broke my heart because I looked at the menu and I was like, "Oh, that looks pretty good. I think it's gonna be good." And it was just the complete
Not
opposite.
good.
That sucks.
Dude,
That
what
that
do you
that
think
feels bad.
when you look at a menu for an anime cafe, like what are the tells for you where you're like, I don't think so. This
Is
is
it the
not
drink
gonna be
menu?
good.
Let's be honest. Is it you're like, why is there so many weird flavored drinks?
For me, the first one would be presentation.
Hmm. Oh,
Like
because you
there's
do get to see all the pictures and stuff, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
always
Okay.
release the menu beforehand so you can like get a sneak peek at what there is. Let me see if I still have the picture. There was
Mm.
one that looked so sad. It was literally just like half the plate was just rice.
Oh God. Oh, that is
And
horrible.
I was like, I can't go here.
Yeah.
But the first tell would be the presentation, I'd say.
Mm, mm,
And then I think the second would be like the description of the food.
mm.
Because if it's just like, oh, it's just egg and rice, I'm like, okay. I don't know how good this is gonna be. But if it's
Yeah.
like a bunch of stuff,
Yeah.
then it
Do you
looks more
feel like
promising.
some of them are just like cash grabs in that regard?
Oh, 100%.
Okay,
Absolutely.
which
I
feels
would
Yeah.
bad,
say
you know?
I would say all are. I would say all are cash
Right,
grabs.
like, I
Technically.
mean, they're all trying to make money, but I think there's a difference in, like, making money and, like, providing a good product and making money, you know? Like,
Uh,
that's kind of the thing, like, imagine, again, if you did the first, like, Food Wars pop-up food truck cafe, and then the food was garbage, like, people would be like, "Yo, what the hell is this?" Right? It's just a
mm.
people would call it a cash grab. Are there any that you think weren't a cash grab from the ones you visited so far? You're like,
Um,
no, this was actually like I would come back here again if it were a regular restaurant,
I think definitely. I mean, yeah, technically they're all cash grabs. Like they're all there to promote something.
right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that's the thing. Like that's why they exist. So that's why they're temporary. They just exist to promote. Maybe the
yeah.
ones that are there for longer, like that have like permanent cafes. Maybe?
Oh,
Oh,
wasn't the
yeah.
didn't you say the I think the
Oh my
Kirby
God, the
one
Kirby
is always
Cafe is so good. You
okay.
need
So
to visit the
there we go.
Kirby Cafe when you
Is that going to
come.
be on my list? Is that going to be on my list?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay. I'm a big Kirby
absolutely.
fan. You know, little
Oh, I
pink
haven't been.
olive doom.
I will say I don't think I've ever been to a single permanent anime cafe except for in the Sailor Moon Museum. But I didn't really go to that one. I looked at the 3-hour long line and I
You're like,
left.
nah,
Three
I'm
hours? Did you go on
Yeah.
like a Saturday?
Yes.
Oh
That was
man. Oh
that was
man.
the
Oh
mistake.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
I still need to take you to the one that has the Totoro cream puffs.
oh, so there's a
Yeah.
permanent Ghibli one, right? Is
Yeah,
that
so
Yes.
there's like a it's like a
Yeah.
bakery slash cafe, and apparently it's owned by like
Shirohige.
Hayao Miyazaki's like sister-in-law,
oh my
which is
Yeah,
god?
why she
something like
has
that.
like the licensing to like use the
To
Totoro image.
yeah.
I love
But
that.
it's like a regular cafe. Like it's not the food's not like anime themed, but it's a regular
Yeah.
cafe in a very cozy spot. And they
Mm.
happen to have these Totoro shaped cream puffs, and they're super cute.
Yeah, and it's not near the museum at all. Like it's not
Oh no, not
it's
at all.
yeah, it's like closer to Shibuya, I think, or Shinjuku
Yeah, I think it
maybe.
was in Setagaya.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. It's in Setagaya. But yeah, it's kind of funny because it's not like you kind of just stumble across it. Like it's not close to the museum or anywhere that's like really like Ghibli is like inspired or special or anything at all. But
Yeah, it's
they have
very out of the way.
really cute cream puffs that I've never been and I've always really, really wanted to go. So we gotta
Yes,
go.
we have to go. We have to
We
plan a
gotta go.
day.
Yeah,
I
yeah, definitely.
I feel like the anime cafes, like we said earlier, are super hit or miss. I want to schedule some of them. So like I want to go visit a couple of them while we're there. But
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm gonna be so disappointed, like when I only have a limited amount of time and I show up to them and they're just like, what is this? I'd rather just go to like Nishinoya and go get a rice bowl or something, right?
Mm,
Like, or
mhm,
go get curry rice or something from somewhere. So I
mm.
think I'm gonna have to like really plan this out. Or maybe just go to the permanent ones and maybe a couple of pop-ups. Like that's
Another I feel like another reason to go I would pick a permanent one over a temporary one because it's very difficult to get reservations at temporary ones because they're so
mhm,
popular. It's not difficult, but you really have to, like, be online, ready to go and book in, or you gotta get in
mm,
a lottery system or something like that. It can be
Yeah.
a process to do.
Sometimes I schedule alarms on my phone. If I know
that's okay,
Yeah.
something's
that's
gonna
wild.
if I know
Yeah.
some reservation is gonna be
Yeah.
released, I set an alarm for myself.
Yeah. This is kind of a complaint that I have about Japan in general. Like it's just the sheer amount of reserving stuff that you need to do. Like
Mm,
you can't really walk into anything. You have to have a reservation in place for restaurants if there's like a restaurant you're dying to go to. And sometimes the hoops you have to jump through just to put your name down is like truly incredible. But putting that aside, I think you should go to a permanent one. They're a little easier to get into. I think the food's probably gonna be better. Another thing to consider too is that yes, food at anime cafes is the thing, but what's also a thing is the merch that you can get at anime
mm.
Oh
cafes,
God.
which is like a real reason to go in
It's
my
almost like convention
opinion.
exclusive stuff, right? That's what it feels like.
Yeah, like
Yes.
sometimes they'll have like the Oran High School like host cafe that we were gonna go to. They had the characters dressed specifically in like cafe server uniforms and stuff like that, and you wouldn't be able to get that anywhere else
Gotcha.
besides this cafe.
Is
Yeah.
there just like the collectability aspect for you guys, or is it? Do you think some people buy it to like resell? I feel like that could be a big thing, right?
Both.
Oh,
Did
Right?
you?
Like people are like it's like
maybe.
so exclusive. People are gonna resell it on eBay or something. I'm actually
I've
curious. I don't know
definitely
much.
I've definitely seen stuff. If you go to Ikebukuro and you go to Otome Road and go into some of the shops there, that do like resell stuff, you can find like cafe merch basically, but nothing is guaranteed. It's very like few and far between. Sometimes you've got to like dig
Dang!
through buckets and stuff.
I found a bunch of it
So
on eBay.
yeah. But also, Emily, have you seen or did you know that for anime cafes, like you can buy books to store all of the stuff that you get, like the coasters and the placemats and stuff that you get?
But you can buy books?
Yeah, they're like Ita bags. It's like an Ita
Yeah.
bag, but for your coasters and stuff from anime cafes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, yeah, so that
Wait,
you can like
what? Wait,
store
wait.
them.
They have books for coasters? Do you know how many coasters I have right now that I don't know what to do with? I need one
No,
of those.
make like a mural out of them. Like people do like the cork board thing.
Nah.
Just like make them as a wall piece.
No, you gotta like save them. You can't just put them out where the sun could touch them and bleach them. Are you
Let's be
crazy?
honest. That's gonna go into a closet. Put it on
Can
the
I
wall
become a
instead.
family heirloom?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. She's like, I'm gonna show this to my children
Just
and
a
their
binder
children.
of cafe coasters. Wait, hang on,
Yeah.
hang on. So you're telling me that they have books where you can put in the cafe coasters. It's not like a regular like binder. It's specifically for coast. Okay, well,
Yeah,
I need to
yeah,
figure
and
out where I
it
can
comes
get
with
my
like
hands
the
on one.
sleeves and stuff. I know. When's your birthday, Emily? Maybe I know what to get you for your
It's in
birthday.
August.
Okay, I got time then. I got time.
So you can, and you can also, I'm just looking at this, we're talking about this for a second. You can buy the Orin High School Host Club, what is it? Haku Sensha Cafe. You can buy all the
Mhm.
postcards on eBay for $60. So people
That
are
is
definitely,
a
yeah, people are
crime.
definitely,
Are you
yeah,
kidding me?
no
60
joke.
You can-
bucks?
You
Yeah,
can buy them for $15 at the cafe if you just go to the cafe.
yeah. So there's a market for this. Like I guarantee you, that's what a lot of these people. Well, not all of them, but there's probably quite a few who are going and like reselling this stuff, right?
Oh
Like
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll see people resell the coasters, and I'm like,
Yeah.
who's buying these?
that's
Yeah.
wild. Because
People
you
like
have
to
to,
collect.
anything that's exclusive, people will find a way to sell it
That is
or get it to
true.
sell it. Like no matter what, even if
It
it's just
always
like a ticket to get into the place, they'll sell it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I have a story for that. But like side note on the coaster thing, it's so funny to me because they'll like set the table for you and you'll order a drink and the coaster comes with the drink. So you've got to order every drink to get every coaster. And they won't even put the drinks on the coasters. They'll like bring you your drink and put it on the table and then they'll be
Yeah.
like, here's the coaster. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
like you're not supposed to use
"Ooh."
them, and like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
sometimes you get a free like placemat, but it's like made out of paper, and
Yeah.
it'll be on the tables, and just I don't think about it, and I'm like, oh okay, it's just like for the food,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they'll bring the food, and they're like, oh, can you
Like,
move the
Can you move the
placemat?
piece of
Placemat.
paper?
And I'm
Yeah.
like, what is this for then?
Yeah,
But it's just so,
yeah.
like you can collect it.
Yeah, pretty much. People are like crazy about it. It's really interesting. But along the lines of like crazy resale stuff, back in last year, in Osaka, the Universal Studios Japan had a popcorn bucket that they were selling. And this popcorn bucket broke the Japanese internet because the popcorn bucket was Nezuko in her little box.
No,
Yeah,
are you
I can see that.
serious?
Yeah, so like you would get it was like a box. It was like the wooden box that Tanjiro has on his back. And you open it and there's popcorn inside, but there's like a little thing like a little door in the front where Nezuko was and she would like
That's
pop out.
adorable. I kind of
And
want
she would
that.
talk to you. Yeah. It was really cool. But we went, so I went to go just check it out, see what's going on. We got there at opening or like really close to opening. The line for this popcorn bucket, 3-4 hours deep.
Oh my
It was crazy.
Oh
And then
my god.
people would go in, beeline to the popcorn buckets, buy the bucket, and then just dip. They would like leave. They're like, we're not even here for the theme park. We're just gonna go and
So they
resell it."
paid the like the ticket price for the theme park.
Oh, so they had
in
to pay to get
addition.
in?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then-
yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's
it's
what it
on
looks
screen
like.
right now too.
Yeah, thanks,
That's
Joe.
funny. That's
Yeah.
actually pretty legit though.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
it was really freaking cool.
I would wait in line for that.
Yeah, it was cool.
I would
And
be that person.
The popcorn bucket, I think, was only like 3,000 yen. Not that expensive.
You know
can
that
get
thing's
pretty
never
cheap
going to be
popcorn
used for
buckets here.
popcorn.
No, and that's the thing. And so you could buy it for like I think it was 3,000 yen, something like that, maybe a little bit more. And then it was reselling for like $200 online.
Of course it
Oh
was.
my God. And
Yeah.
like it's also like it's not gonna be there forever. Like it was
Yeah,
probably a limited
exactly.
time thing too.
Very, very much so, because they had a special ride that they were like promoting it with the popcorn box for. But yeah, the collector thing here is really intense. I
Yeah.
feel.
Also, that's the second thing where that question you asked where you're like, what would you do in
What's a good-
Japan? Like, what's a good
Yeah.
thing to do just without the expectation of filming anything for a video?
Oh yeah.
I would say amusement parks.
Okay.
Yes.
Which is
Amusement
hard because I
parks.
feel like I would like really want to film that. Like, okay, so amusement parks. My wife and I love them. Which one would you
Mhm.
recommend absolutely going to?
Well, I've only
Oh.
been to Tokyo Disney Sea,
Okay.
which I
excellent choice.
loved. I really liked it. I still want to go to Universal Studios.
That looks
Okay.
cool. Yeah.
Dude, I love theme parks. I love amusement parks so much.
Mhm.
Disney Sea is beautiful and it's really unique because they don't exist in America. You'll never find a Tokyo Disney Sea ever again. And in fact, the Tokyo Disney Sea here, shocker, is not run by Disney. It's run by a Japanese company, which makes
Interesting.
it deeply superior to the average Disneyland
Really?
because it's like Disney on steroids. I mean, you've been, like
Yeah.
it's so like everyone's so nice and chipper and it's so clean and it's so wonderful. But yeah, it's not actually run by Disney. It's a Japanese company that has the rights to use Disney properties and stuff, and that's what makes it really different. So they can really like go crazy at Disney Sea and like test a lot of stuff out. They like test a lot of rides out and do like cool different stuff that then you would find in Disneyland. So I think that's like the most unique one that you can go to here.
Mm-hmm.
But if I may, Universal Studios is fun too. Great.
That's the one in
Um,
Osaka?
Yeah.
Universal? Okay.
I personally like theme parks where I feel like there's a chance that I could die if I went on a ride.
No, I don't want that.
No,
Why
thank
would I
you.
want that? Like, I'm with Emmy over here. We'd be like, all right, Emily, you go. We're gonna go get a pretzel or something.
You know those carnivals that had those like shady rides that were
Oh, yeah.
constructed in like
The
half
ones
a
that,
day?
like, are
Emily
super rickety?
goes on those.
Yeah, yes.
No,
Well,
dude.
I
I don't wanna
think
be
it's
flung
fun.
like 80 feet in the air, and then landing like a vat of popcorn.
I think it's fun to put my life in the hands of an 18-year-old teenager. Because why
No.
not?
We
You
gotta-
know?
yep,
No,
Why
absolutely
not?
not.
Nope.
No, thank you.
Hell no. Hell no. That,
I
I get
that-
nervous just being on a
18-year-old
Ferris
teenager,
wheel. No, thank you.
Nope.
Oh my
I've
God.
been to
Oh.
those things out here.
Someone,
And-
we got a
yeah.
commenter who agrees with me. Oh my God. I
No,
think it's
hell no.
Wait,
Lisa,
what if they're
thank
agreeing
you.
with me? What if they're agreeing with me?
What are you talking
Oh, wait.
Uh-uh.
Good.
Y'all can go together. You know, Ellie and Emmy, y'all can go on this ride together.
Oh my
Everybody else
God.
is gonna come with me and Emmy. We're gonna go get food. And we're
Oh,
gonna wait for
no.
you guys to be like
Okay.
flung into the air
No,
by
but
the
hear me.
gravity machine or something.
Hear me. Thank you. So I can let's go to, this is my recommendation, Fuji-Q. It has some great rides that are a little rickety and a little scary,
No,
but
mm-mm.
also that's where they have a Naruto ramen center, and
Okay, well, I'll
you
go
can
to
get
that.
yeah. So you guys can go for the food. That's your little anime cafe moment, and
That's what I'm
I
gonna do.
will put my life at risk, and I will all have a good time. I think that's a great plan.
No, because I've done like the Six Flags and all that stuff, and like I've been stuck on a roller coaster and it is not fun. Do not
Ooh.
recommend. It is
Upside
a
down?
horrible. No, it was just like stopped. Like
Oh,
it
God.
I would
decided to
actually perish. I would
Yeah, and
pass
I'm like,
away.
this is great. I don't know if I want you to turn this back on because I don't know what's going to happen. Just please get me a ladder and I will climb my ass back down. Right? Like I don't want this thing to turn back on. It's because you're just sitting there. You're like, is the thing gonna fall off the tracks? Because that's a possibility that's going through my mind now. like
Oh.
just put me down, let me get a churro. I love theme park rides, but
Mhm.
like I don't really want to ride the wooden one that looks like it might fall over because it's been there for
Those are the
155 years.
most fun because they like clatter.
Yeah, it's great until like you have a bulge in your back, from just like gyrating on this damn thing.
This
like,
is
going
why
on-
I trust Disneyland rides, because if there's any company that's going to be extra anal about like safety regulations, it's going to be Disney.
That's what
Yeah,
I
for
figure.
sure.
So like,
Everyone
okay,
else, I don't want to put my life in their hands.
I've never had a bad experience at Universal Studios either. So Disneyland, Universal Studios always have good experiences there.
Oh yeah.
Plus,
Oh, I want to go to
plus the
Universal.
food at both of those are have been pretty solid for me. Whereas like Six Flags, you might get away with like a decent like churro, and that's max. That's as good as
I
it's
go
gonna
for the
get.
Dippin' Dots.
Yeah,
Dippin'
yeah, Dippin' Dots is
Dots.
Oh
everywhere.
yeah.
Like
Oh
the
yeah.
last theme park we went to was actually Universal Studios in like 2015 or 16, and my wife took me to like the Harry Potter place, and we bought like the Homer Simpson donut, and like we're just gorging on food, and it was a fun time. And like the Osaka, what is it, Universal Studios? I did the city walk when I was out there. I didn't go into the park because I think I was eating so much food by the time I got to like the park entrance. It was like I'm done, and I just left. So that was really fun. I would want to visit one of those two while we're out there. But my wife loves Disney. So do you guys think do Disney while we're out there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not
And
even a
get
question.
her like a novelty popcorn bucket while you're at it, because some of the Disney
Yes.
popcorn buckets look insane and they look
cute.
so cute.
Okay, we're
They're
gonna do
so
that.
cute. Do
I
it. Do
almost
it. And yeah, wait. Is she like a Disney girl? Like, do you guys like to go to Disney parks and stuff in
so
America?
not that extreme, but like we both grew up watching Disney movies, like most people our age, kind of thing. But like we enjoy it for the fantasticalness of it. Like you're just kind of in the moment. But also we do like drinking and walking around, and that it kind of
Mhm.
gets a little like degenerate
Oh,
after a while.
yeah.
But we're trying to figure out if she, and I don't think it'll be allowed, but she has a full Cinderella ball gown cosplay, like 100%
Ooh.
accurate.
Yeah,
And
you
I'm like,
can do it in only in October.
really?
Yep.
Wait. Oh, because of Halloween?
hmm
She would probably get mistaken for a park member, 100%.
It doesn't
Like,
matter here in Japan. You can
oh
do
my
it.
God.
There was
Yes.
I just went in October and there was a girl in a full Belle ball gown. It was
Oh
really
my
cool.
God.
She was like at the front of the line. She was ready to go in.
I love that. Maybe we'll do
Yeah.
that. It just packing that thing would basically take an entire suitcase, like an entire luggage space. So we'd have to figure
Yeah.
that out.
That's fair. That's fair. But I
Okay.
mean, to Emily's point, like if you're not going to record anything, like I think what amusement parks have here that they don't have in America is that the food is A, really good, and
Okay.
B, really inexpensive compared to what you normally get in America. So like it's its own reason to go to a theme park. Like the last time I went to Disney, I didn't even care about the rides. I was just there because I wanted to try their winter special food,
See,
and
that
it was
sounds
an
a lot
amazing
of fun to
time.
me. Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you guys could pick like, and I know we're kind of picking because I'm trying to build my own itinerary over here with like visiting Tokyo and visiting Japan. If you were to say like, is it really worth spending the time to like indulge at those places, or is it maybe just better to go to like mom and pop shops, like go find really good Japanese restaurants? But I know a lot of it has to do with like the theme of like anime cafes and like getting that
Mhm.
experience versus just like I want to eat good food, because a lot of food in Japan is really good and you don't need
Yeah,
all the
I will
auxiliary
say
stuff.
if the goal is to eat good food, 100% just go to like a mom and pop shop or a
Mhm.
good restaurant or a good hole in the wall restaurant, because it will always be way cheaper and way more delicious
Mhm.
Yeah.
and still a really good experience. I'd say anime cafes are worth it only if you are a big fan of the IP that they're promoting.
Yep.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like,
Kind of
it's
not
just,
worth it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to
Because
keep that
yeah,
in mind.
no reason to
'Cause
go. Yeah.
No, because the thing is that it comes down to the timing, like you said. Like you might not get a reservation and all this other stuff. And the only pop up I've really gone to in the past couple of years was actually in Scotland, and it's this company that we were just walking down Queen's Mile, which is like the road
Mm.
going up to the castle in Edinburgh, and it was a Star Wars pop up bar,
Mm.
and they were open at 11 a.m. and we're like, well, it's 11 a.m. and we're on vacation, so we walked in and we grabbed like gin cocktails that were each different like lightsaber colors, and it was super fun. But
Mm.
you could just walk in, and it feels
Mhm.
like in this case I'm gonna have to do quite a bit of upfront like research and like, hey, where are we going, can we get in, whatever the case is. But I don't know, I just want to eat everything. Like I
I
just want to eat all
yeah,
the things.
I agree with Emily. Like, I mean, anime cafes are really fun. In my opinion, God, I kind of hate to say this because I like come from a big travel family, and my dad is always insistent that you should go somewhere new, you should try different things. But I really think that Japan is a country that you benefit from doing a couple of trips to. Um, and like, your first trip, you want to get everything, you want to do the Kyoto and
Hmm.
Osaka and Tokyo thing. But then on your subsequent trips, you can focus in more on the things that you really care about. And maybe this only applies for people who like Japan and Japanese culture, but like in my mind, making anime cafes a priority is like maybe the focus of one trip that you would do to Japan, not necessarily like a thing that you should try to kind of like shoehorn in because you want to fit it in. Like if you want to go to an anime cafe, go to a permanent one. If you
Right.
want to go
Yeah.
to some of those
Okay.
specialty ones, like make that its own thing that you're doing or its own reason for visiting, because it just requires so much.
So much more prep.
It's just like the learning curve and figuring out how to do it. And like we're talking setting alarms in America to wake up on certain days, to book tickets. Like it becomes a kind of a complicated,
It almost
annoying
it almost
sort
sounds
of
like
thing.
I don't know how you guys are when you travel, but like I don't like itineraries. Usually
Mm,
the way I travel is, hey, I kind of want to do these things, and then whatever happens in between happens,
yeah.
right? Versus like I got to plan around going to these specific places, like because
Yeah.
I know Emily, when you do the anime cafe videos, do you have to plan? I'm actually very curious, like on the I guess on the creator side of it,
Hmm.
like the when on your latest one where you visited 12 more, right? Over how many days did that take you to film?
Ooh, I would say, hold on, what is the time gap between my first collab cafe video and the second one? Give me 1 second.
So
She's
it
gonna
Yeah,
looks
that
like
was
look
like
it
like
up.
almost
that
three
was like
months, right?
yeah, 2 to 3 months or so.
Damn.
I was just like slowly collecting them.
Yeah.
Dang.
That video popped off for you. Not gonna lie. That
Yeah, I
that
wasn't expecting it to. I was like, oh
right?
wow. I mean, people like food. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Food is
I
good and
love
fun.
that.
Well, I think that's why anime cafes are the perfect thing to do for videos, because it's so kind of hard to get into them.
So
And
fleeting, yeah.
It's a
so
very
fleeting.
exclusive thing, and I think like it's almost a niche for you now. Like it's almost like a vertical or a bucket on your channel. I'm like, when's the next one? Right? And it almost it like as like the video side of it, it's interesting because there's always going to be new ones, right? You're like almost never going to run out of content because there's anime
Yeah,
every what is
only
it,
money.
4 months,
Only run
right?
out of
Yeah.
money.
You only run out of money, right? It's like every 4 months there's a new season of something, and
Going
now
on.
it's going to be like, hey, do we do more anime cafes, right?
Yeah.
I would totally do that. I'm just like, yeah. Are you currently planning on another one?
I am. I
Yeah, let's
hold
go.
on. Let me check
Let
my
me check my old
folder
calendar
really
here. Oh, it's a
quick.
folder. Is it a physical folder? I have to know.
No, it's on my computer. I have them all
With
like
all of her
I
reservations.
could
separated.
totally
Let's
see you
see.
just like going through your reservations, like,
Mm.
Since my most recent anime collab cafe video, I have gone to 5.
what? It's in
Whoa.
9 days, bro? Like what?
Oh my god.
Well, no. Some of them I went to like while I was working on
Oh,
the
okay, that's
second
fair.
collab
Okay,
cafe
that makes
video.
sense. Yeah, yeah,
But like I
yeah.
didn't want
Okay.
to like stick them in because I only wanted to do 12 at a time.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I like that number too. 12 is good. 12
12's
is
a
solid.
solid
Yeah.
number.
I
Mm.
love that. I love that for you. That's so good. It's such a unique thing, right? Like I can't do that in like I actually I tell people I'm in Portland. I live like 40 miles outside of Portland. So what am I gonna do? There's zero anime anything where I am. I can say I went to the
Mhm.
bakery again that I go to way too many times during the week. It's not a very interesting thing. But like
Yeah.
that's such a fun thing. And I kind of I do watch a lot of like the trash taste guys and stuff like that. And I watch a lot of Japanese vlogs and content. Do you
Mhm.
think that moving to Japan has made making content easier or more difficult for you so far?
I think it's definitely made it easier. It's
Because
like
it just kind of makes itself.
yeah, I'm now at a point where I have like too many ideas at once,
Yep.
but I can only work on one at a time.
Mm.
Which is nice because it means I have this like never-ending backlog of like new ideas.
Mm. Yeah,
And
that's great.
sometimes Geek Fest will be like, "Hey, you want to go to this thing like this company is offering?"
Oh, that's
Uh
right. Your
yeah, so like
Yeah.
overlord.
That's what I did for Awajishima, Awaji
Ugh.
Island. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
Geeks Plus had brought it to me and was like, "You want to go to this island for like 2 days and like make a video about it?" And I'm like, "Yeah,"
Okay.
Hell
because
yeah.
even though it's so different from what I usually do, like I
Mhm.
think that's like one of the videos where most of it is entirely just it's like a vlog, pretty much.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that
But
because it almost
yeah,
seems like like with all the ideas you have, but then you're fed other ideas that are just kind of like
yes.
more organic, like you can just do them, right?
I wish I
That
could clone myself so I could like work on multiple things at once.
dude, that's the hard part about content creation, right? You're like, how do I split my what I do? Because especially with what you do, right? Like
Hmm.
I can only imagine you formulate the story and everything that happens with the voiceover and everything, but then you make art for that, I'm assuming. So like you can't outsource any of that, right? Like if you do
Yeah,
the edit, do you actually have an editor or you still edit everything yourself as well?
I edit everything myself.
Yeah, yeah, that's been the
It's a lot
most
of work.
difficult. Yeah, like I have
Yeah.
an editor that helps me for probably like 70% of my stuff and I
Hmm.
like basically touch up everything he does, but he's so
Mm,
good at what he does. I love what he does.
mm.
And it's made my life even though I it's
Easier.
another expense, it's so worth it. We've already been
Mm.
talking about like the Japan trip and how I'm going to be uploading footage to like our cloud server so he can just download it and start editing right away, right? But
Hmm.
you did like you
You're
have to,
so funny. You're like 5,
bro,
6 months out.
you got to
Oh,
go,
it kills
because
me.
we have 3 to 4 major events and Japan's one of them, so I want to make sure we're
Uh,
ready. But
yeah,
like
yeah.
This man
with
says I hate itineraries, and then makes like a
Yeah.
I
whole
don't know.
schedule. He's
I
awesome,
don't
man.
like itineraries from traveling, but I like planning, right? So like I want to make sure that when we get there, it's because you don't want to fumble while you're
Yeah, that
that
you don't
far
want to
away.
waste a single day. That is true.
Yeah, and that's the hardest part. It's like, oh my God, even if we do, but it's fine because we'd make the most of it. My wife and I probably just be day drinking and then eating good food because that's what we do.
Yeah.
Like
Hmm.
literally just
Yeah,
walking around kind of
as you
buzzed.
should.
Yeah, but with with the content you've been making so far, does it feel like if you could do more, you would, or are you like set? You're like, I like the cadence that I'm doing it in. Because there's always that question with like YouTube, right? You're always like, oh, I could do more. I could upload another video. I could,
Mm.
like it's so difficult to say that though.
It's yeah. If I could do more, I would. Like if I could draw faster, or
Right?
if I could just put things out like faster and like draw faster, I would love that because there's oh man, like right now I'm working on a video where I went to a maid cafe
Hmm.
and like I'm like trained as a maid for a day.
Oh, cool.
I filmed
I love
that
that.
back in
It's
like
so fun.
September.
Oh,
And still drawing
wow.
for it.
So I filmed it back in September. So this is my issue with like why well maybe I should hire an editor more often. But for this particular video, because so much of it was like a lot of video footage, like not filmed by me, I
Oh,
actually did pass this off to an editor to edit together. And then they gave it back to me and it was perfect. They did it so quickly. God bless. But my brain was like, I still want to make this video feel like me,
yeah.
just like a
Mm.
little
No,
bit.
for sure. You should never lose that.
So I've been like going through the video and just noting down the areas where I could draw.
Mm.
I don't
Okay.
have to because it's already all edited and everything. But I'm like, no, I still want to draw some bits here and there so it still has that like. Because
Yeah.
But
otherwise, it just doesn't feel like my video.
Yeah.
no, totally. And that's kind of the vibe I got from like your bento master video, right?
Hmm.
Where a lot of it was just the real life interaction, but then you threw in like the little bits of like maybe there's explanation with pictures and stuff. And I don't know how your community felt, right? Because I haven't browsed any of the comments, but like was the reception kind of the same? Because like I was like, oh, it's still your video, you're still adding these
Yeah.
little unique touches to it, but you're still adding now more personal stuff where like you're in it, you're showing, yourself or whatever the case is. Are those videos easier or more difficult than just a straight
Mm.
up like I gotta draw everything?
Mm.
Oh, they're definitely easier. It's
Hmm.
always easier when I don't have to draw as much.
Hmm.
And the reception has been surprisingly really good. I was so like every time I post a video where there's like a lot of like B-roll footage, I get nervous because I'm worried people are gonna be like, why don't you draw more often? But then I forget, like, it's still interesting to look at because it's so different. It's not
Mhm.
just like a regular, like, I went to this place, come look at it. It's like, I went to this anime
Yeah.
cafe, you want to see it? And it's like, there's certain
Yeah.
things I simply cannot like draw. I can't like, I have to show you pretty much.
Yeah.
Right,
That's
like
the
you're not gonna
magic.
sit there and draw all the food, right?
No,
Mhm.
that's the magic of being in Japan. It's like you let a lot of the like cachet of Japan and Tokyo and every like cool thing that you're doing that just doesn't exist anywhere else speak for you. And that's
Yeah.
like the fun thing about it.
That's kind of
Yeah.
the like I don't watch a lot of the what is the term for like the kind of channel you have? Is it like not draw my life, like not that kind of thing, right? I guess
Oh,
it's
like,
just an art channel,
I
art
don't know.
stories,
yeah.
right? I don't actually watch a ton of that content, but I started watching yours because you have both in there, right? Like you show the real life stuff and the art stuff.
Mhm.
And granted, I'm not like your main audience, but it's like it is cool to see because it's kind of that I call it the ace attorney like objection, like the thing pops up on screen and you're explaining something with artwork. I'm like, oh, okay, like it's context. It's really cool to see that. So I've been,
Oh,
I
thank
don't know
you. I
if it
appreciate it.
yeah, if it's any kind of feedback, I think it's a really good blend to have those two.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know. I've been like fanboying because I like your content a lot. Um,
Oh, thank you. Oh
yeah,
my
but
goodness.
but if okay, so because we've been talking about anime cafes for a while, if there is one thing you could you could change about what you like experience in Japan with food, what would it be? Like it could be the service, it could be the types of food, it could be how,
Oh,
like what's the one thing that you think would make it better for you?
like the food
Uh,
in
It,
general?
it could be anything. You're like, I
I
wish
don't
it were I wish
I
it
don't know
were
if there's anything I could improve
I
upon.
know.
I,
That's
I
the
kind of I
thing.
kind of think I know the answer. Like
No.
Okay,
No.
what do you think
Yeah,
it
what do you
is?
think it is?
to not have a shit reservation system.
Oh.
Oh,
Like
Yeah.
I think right? Like that's what I would think for you guys.
Yeah. Well, it's like it's so fair, right? The
yeah.
reason that it's like this is because they want to give everyone a fair chance to go to the restaurant because it will sell out. And so
Mhm.
like it kind of it sucks cuz you have to like be on and put your name in or whatever, but then it's like a fair shakedown. It's not just first come first served. So like I can't be mad at that. Like it's fair,
You
right?
kind of get used to it if you do it enough times.
Okay,
Yeah.
so in that regard, do you think it makes it more like a little more exciting when you do get in? You're like, oh yes, I finally like got the thing.
Yeah.
I think so. It definitely gets me more excited.
Yeah. I would say it is a little hard for me to meet. It's hard for me because I plan out I'm planned out through the end of February of like
Mhm.
stuff to do and things that are going on. And so it's a little hard for me sometimes because I'm like, I'm putting in a lottery for this day at this time, and I don't know if I'm gonna get it. And
No, I
I
I'm
hate
don't
so
know.
that. I just want
I'm
to
so
know right away.
jealous.
Did I get it or
Yeah.
not? Like, just tell
Yeah.
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah.
jealous that you guys have so much to do out there because there's nothing to do where I am. Like the most exciting thing
Mm.
is like my cats go a little crazy and have the zoomies, but
Yeah.
if
Living
in
in a city, I think you'd get that in any city you lived in, though. Like, there's
you
always
you
something
would,
going on.
where it'll be exciting to essentially live in Japan for 3 weeks while we're doing
Yeah.
stuff. So we'll see how that
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah.
I wanted to also say before we kind of like close it out for a little bit is while you're coming up on year one, do you have any big projects you're working on that like maybe
Ooh.
you can talk about? Because I know a lot of us do stuff behind the scenes that we're not allowed to talk about. But I'm kind of curious because you're coming up on the year one, like life has changed quite a bit. Content is maybe changing. Like, is there
Yeah.
anything really cool
Ooh,
you could share? Because
Any
I'm
any
always
big
excited to hear
goals?
about creator ideas.
Mm.
I do have a thing I'm planning, but I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it.
Okay, we could say it later. No, that's
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Like,
okay,
no, no,
okay.
you don't, you
Yeah.
don't, you don't have to. I just like to know that like creators are planning big things because it makes me excited. I'm like, I
Mm.
love this community a lot. I'm like, I like to see creators doing cool
Doing
things.
cool
So
stuff.
yeah, it's always fun.
Yeah,
Exciting.
I wanna do more big things
Okay,
this year,
we'll leave it at that.
especially. I just can't
I
believe
will.
it's already been almost a year. That's
I
crazy.
know, I know.
I love
Time
that.
flies.
Hell
Time
yeah.
flies when you're having fun.
I know. At the end of 22 or 2022, I was like,
Yeah.
man, I feel like I haven't done enough. But then I look back and
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
then you
I
look back,
literally
you're like, oh
uprooted
my
my
God,
life to go to
Yeah.
right?
overseas. So I
You've done it.
technically,
You've done a lot. That's
You've
how
eaten at
it's funny.
24 anime cafes and you
I
move.
know. I
You're
know.
good.
It's so funny that you say that though, because that's how I kind of felt when I first moved here. Like I first moved here, and I remember telling people I was working with, I was like, I just moved to a new country. Like I think I need to take a couple months to like get settled in and like get my act
yeah,
together.
it really takes that long to get settled. Like,
It
I
does.
didn't realize how much time that ate up.
It does. And I think especially in Japan, moving to Japan is just hard, and then buying all the stuff you need for your home and signing all the paperwork and blah 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 blah. And then by the time I had everything figured out, COVID hit. And um
No, that's
Yeah.
yeah,
Yep.
awful.
and so like, all of my best laid plans, I was like straight up, Emily, I'm so glad that you're doing the anime cafe thing, because this has been, in my opinion, like fertile territory for a while. And like I was
Fertile
gonna do it.
I'm telling you, you
Yeah,
capitalize on
yeah.
that. Do not let this series go. I will
No,
literally, I'll be like,
like
yo, you need to text her and be like, where's the next one?
when I first moved here, I was like, I'm gonna be the anime cafe girly. I'm gonna go to all the anime cafes and like have a lot of fun, and it's gonna be great. And then I couldn't. It just didn't work out. And then time changes. I've like changed. I'm moving in a different direction with my content. So I'm glad someone is doing it, because the world of
This
anime
is your
cafes
thing. If you
so
don't do
good.
it, I will do it. I'll go there for a month and film like 2 years of content. I'll just eat everything all day. Like
No,
it's such a
I,
good,
I was
you know,
actually shocked that there wasn't already like a
someone
like
doing it.
anime cafe sampler or
Yeah,
someone who
sampler.
goes to
Yeah.
like a bunch.
I
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of did something similar, but just for Anime Expo, where I just ate all of the food I could find and spent like $400
Oh
on food
my
at Anime Expo.
god. Was it
And
worth it?
no,
No,
it was a fun video. It was
no.
a fun video, but like you could do that for quite a few conventions, and it's eventually evolved into, instead of just like, hey, this is undercooked pizza for $15, instead let's explore the city and see what the
Mm,
city that we're in has to offer.
yeah.
So it's kind of I love the idea of the anime cafes. It's such a good draw, especially for
Mm.
your audience and your channel, and also the mystery of like what actually goes on in Japan, because Japan kind of still carries that a bit, no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it is really neat to see that. But
yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what content you make in the future. I really hope you continue cooking too. Like I
Yeah.
like
Yes.
I really do. I just want more people to cook, make cute Pikachu,
Cute stuff.
bentos
No,
again.
I
Like
know. I love the
favorite thing.
bento video as well, and you've inspired me. I really wanna, like, I've always loved doing bentos and stuff. I wanna get more into it. That was kind of one question that I had for you, Emily. Like, since you've been here and you've
Mhm.
been in Japan and, like, cooking and learning and stuff, is there, like, a dream food that you wanna make, or, like, a dream, like,
Ooh,
type
that's a
of
good
cuisine that you wanna
question.
learn how to do?
Oh
Like,
my
for me, yeah, no,
Ooh.
go, go, go.
Oh
What is
no,
it?
no,
What is it?
sorry,
What is
sorry,
it?
sorry. You go first while I
Oh,
still formulate my answer in my head.
okay. For me, since I'll just answer my own question now. This is the year of the dumplings for me. I'm gonna be the dump queen of
Let's
2023.
go.
Oh
Yes.
my, I've never made dumplings in my life. It looks
Oh,
so daunting.
It's
it's
so
actually not
I've
that bad. It's not that
It's
bad.
not that bad, but I really want to learn how to make like good soup dumplings. Um,
Mm,
Ooh.
so that's my goal of 2023. I need to get started on that, but that's what I want to make
if
my
you
my
don't make them by
project.
the time I get there, we're gonna make them together.
Yes, you got it. You got it. I
I
don't know,
I want
Emily.
to
What do you think?
learn a lot more like home cooking Japanese recipes
Oh
because every time
Yeah.
yeah,
I go to the grocery store, I'll pass by like a million ingredients where I'm like, I don't know what they
Don't know what
do
to
with this,
use.
but I
Yeah.
want to learn.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
God. Okay, I have a proposition. Maybe it'll happen, but
Okay.
like maybe we could talk to Champ with Champ's Japanese Kitchen, and like we can go have a cooking session with him.
Ooh.
That would be fun. I'm just like, yo, Champ, just teach me all of your ways, bro. That would be fun. But I think
Paul's our collab king of 2023. He's
I
gonna
think it's
come
because
here
I
and
don't
just like
stop
meet up with
talking and I
everybody.
just start talking to everybody because like I don't know, it's the food industry. Like everybody should be friends. Like I
Uh,
love that you didn't really say a dish though. You said I just
mm,
want to learn how to use the
what
ingredients
type
I
of
have in
food?
front of me.
Yeah,
I think that's really important. Not a lot of people
yeah,
think that way, so that's good.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, if I
Um,
had to pick a dish,
Yeah, what would be the dish that you want to perfect? That maybe
that
you've
I want to
eaten, right?
perfect.
You
what would
you
be
you
good
got to
for
Japan,
perfect?
you ate the thing, you had a food wars moment, and you were just like, You were on the floor, kind of pulsating a little bit, and you're like, I need to know how to make this. It's Food Wars. It just happens, just
Maybe. That is a very good question. Because I
know
feel like
sometimes
no matter
sometimes
what
it's-
I learn to make, I'll always be able to go to a restaurant and pay
And-
less money to have,
yeah.
and like
It is
someone,
true.
then they'll be a master of it for like 35 years already. Like nothing. You know what sucks about home cooking in Japan? No matter what I make, it'll always be like not as good as the
inferior to the
restaurant, which is
restaurant,
usually
yeah.
like in America, every time you go to a restaurant, you're like, I could make this better at home for cheaper.
Yeah,
In
Yeah, but then it takes, like,
Japan,
8
it's the
hours.
opposite. It's
Yeah.
like
it's true.
you'll always be able to get it from some shop where the guy's
I
been
will
running it for like
say-
25 years.
I've been here now for almost 4 years, and I am just now starting to be able to distinguish between bad food in Japan and good food in Japan. Like
Interesting.
it's like it is seriously weird in the sense that like convenience store food's still really good, but like I can now tell the difference in quality at like sushi restaurants when I couldn't before. Like when I came here and I just went to your run of the mill like konbini sushi place, I was like, this is amazing. And now I am starting to like, oh, like this is okay sushi, but this is really nice sushi, and like this is better sushi. And it's taken me a long time, but I'm finally starting to figure that out. Once
I'm
again,
sure-
I feel
yeah.
like Maylin, our friend Maylin, is the queen of like gourmet eating in Japan, and so
Oh, yes.
Didn't she
I'm
start
humbly
like
learning from her.
like dinner parties and stuff, like to like bring people out and then
Oh,
do
yeah, she
tastings and stuff?
did.
Yeah,
What? You should do that, right? And then like figure out that thing you really want. Because even though I'm the same way, right? Like I eat way too many bagels, right? Because there's a bagel shop like a mile down the road.
Oh, I miss
And-
bagels.
Oh my God. And the baker there, we trade. Like usually I bring her like because they do mostly like pastries and bagels, right? So I'll bring
Yeah.
them like one day I brought them like this giant quiche. I was like, I made way too much for a video. Do you guys want quiche? And like, yes, and we traded bagels for quiche. It was this whole thing. It was adorable. But like I'm not going to take the time to make bagels at home because
Mm.
I baked for a living. Like I did sourdough by hand and all that crap, right? Like, do you know how long there's so many YouTube videos where like just make sourdough from scratch? I'm like, okay, it's gonna take you a month
Weeks.
to,
Yeah,
to make a
weeks.
starter,
It
and
takes
then you
that
make the
long?
starter. Yeah,
Yeah,
because you have to
if
let
you're
it
making from
ferment.
scratch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then you get the starter, and then you make the dough, and then the dough like has to ferment for between 7 to 8 hours before you can bake it and all that. I'm like, bro, just go down the street and buy it from a bakery.
Yeah,
Right,
no,
like,
at that point, I'm going to a bakery. Like,
right,
how much
and-
better can it really taste?
And this is really bad for me to
Exactly.
say sometimes because I have a cooking channel, right? But I'm like, I'm trying to eat a sandwich, today,
Yeah.
not next week. And
Yeah.
I think that having that kind of middle ground of like, okay, you say that all the food from, a Japanese restaurant is going to be better than anything you can make at home, but maybe there's like the sauce you can improve on, right? Just like the one component that you really like, let's say a gyudon, right? Maybe you can make it better like that way, right? Just
No,
like the
I've
one
tried.
thing.
Can't.
You know what it
That's
is? Maybe
actually
you
that's the one
honestly,
that you really can't.
honestly, maybe like I hate to say it, like you don't have a heavy enough hand with seasoning because I've seen like my wife season food and she's just like, I'm like, no, honey, you gotta,
No.
yeah.
I'm the queen
MSG?
of I love I go to town on seasoning. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that first of all, this is the thing here too. Like restaurants specialize in a dish. So if
Yeah.
you go to a gyudon restaurant, that's all that
That's
they
all they
make
do.
usually.
Right.
And as a result, it's super, super, super good. I've made some good gyudon at home, but like somehow, even if the beef is like better quality that I buy at the grocery store, it will never stack up to what they make at like a Yoshinoya or a Sukiya, just
For the price
because
too.
that's what they specialize in. It's
Yeah.
what they're good at. They have their like recipe down.
All right, so Emily, you still have to find that thing, like
Yeah.
both Emilys, like find the
Yeah.
thing. Okay, so we have Emmy is gonna make dumplings. She's gonna be the dumpling queen.
Yeah.
Emily, you gotta find that thing, and we're gonna perfect it. And maybe I'll send you a nice chef knife or something, so help out, like find you a chef knife. And be
Oh
like,
my God, that'd be
Everyone needs a good knife.
amazing.
yeah,
Uh,
we'll
yeah.
find something because I'm like,
That's my other goal this year. I need a good knife set. Actually, Paul, we should talk about that. I need a really good knife set.
I'll just hook you guys up.
Yeah,
I
please.
I got a guy. You know,
I got a knife
I
guy.
I got an I do. Yeah, he's great. Yeah, I'll bring you guys gifts. It might be in October, but
Yay.
yeah, because I'm always like I like to encourage people to cook. You know, even if it's just making a sandwich, like go do do the thing. It doesn't have to be crazy. Doesn't have to be extravagant. So
Yeah.
it's very rewarding.
There's a girl I watch on TikTok, and she is a private chef for people in the Hamptons. And
What?
yeah, and I want her life.
What
She's
the
like
hell?
all she does is cook all day long, and it looks hard. Like it doesn't look
It's a lot
easy,
of
but
work. Private
it
chef.
looks
Yeah,
fun. It looks
yeah.
really fun. And she cooks for really rich people. And so she's always eating like burrata on like freshly sprouted whole grain toast.
Oh
And I'm
my
like,
Yeah,
god.
bro, that's what I
I
want right
love
now.
that.
Jesus. I'm about to go downstairs and have some like frozen peas,
Oh,
because that's all I have to my name right now. I'm like,
damn.
it. I don't know. I think food is sometimes take it for granted. You know, like
Mm.
we sometimes just like eat it passively and don't think about like where it came from or like who made it or where I got anything like that. So I think that's kind of like why I'm always like, yo, just have a little of an intention of what you're eating because I think it's really important. Like be in the moment a little bit. Maybe don't be on your phone. Whatever it is, even if
Oh,
it's only for like 5 minutes, because then you're like, damn, this
yeah.
is actually for $6. This is a good bento. Whatever it is, and
I'm
I don't know.
gonna I'm gonna go ahead and call my roommate out right now. I have a roommate right now. God bless him. He's amazing. He's great. He's awesome. But I will like cook. I'll be like, "Do you want some food?" And he'll be like, "Sure." And I'll like dish it up. And like I cook good food. And he will like I made soup the other day.
Just like
He
and done.
Yes, he
Yeah.
knocked back that bowl of soup in 4 minutes. And I was like, "Are you?" And he didn't even I was like, Was it good at least?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, it was good." And I was like, "Fuck you." Like, I
Oh
need
no.
compliments and I need you to enjoy the food that I'm making. Oh, it was so funny. I was like, "Raj, I think you eat too fast. I think you should be careful for your health. I'm worried that you're gonna
Just
asphyxiate and
inhales
die."
it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Dude, no. We gotta
yeah,
enjoy our food. So I'm gonna enjoy the hell out of food in October.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Emily, is there anything else you wanted to like throw out there for the people either in chat or for those listening later on? I'm like,
Yes, I
yeah.
I just thought of one thing I want to perfect, but it's really simple.
Oh,
Um,
Oh
you know,
yes, we got it.
those omelets where you like cut it open and it's all like
Oh,
fluffy and
let's go.
runny.
Oh my God, we're gonna go to Motokichi,
I
right?
wanna
oh,
learn how to make that. I
Let's
don't know how people
go.
do that.
oh, Emily,
It's
you know,
very difficult, but
Really?
maybe, yeah,
Fuck.
maybe I will try
it's
to
not
learn. You know what? I'm
that
gonna go
difficult.
spend way too much money on eggs because they're so expensive, and I'm gonna learn, and then
Learn
I'll
how to
try to
do it.
teach you
Yeah,
because it's
Yeah.
so good. It's
I just
so
yeah,
want
much
the
fun.
power to be able to make that for breakfast. Like, you know what
and
I'm feeling?
Yeah,
I want
yeah,
a nice fluffy
that's a good.
fua omelet.
hell yeah. Okay,
Yeah, that's a
that's
great
the okay.
goal.
So that's the
That's a
goal.
great goal.
To
That's a
all right,
great
we're
goal.
gonna do the omelet. We're gonna do the Motokichi style omelet.
I love
I'm
Yes,
it.
down
I
for
want to
that.
learn how to do that.
Hell yeah, that's
It's
fun.
an excellent goal. I've tried
Yeah,
once in my life, failed miserably,
I
never
I've
tried
tr-
again.
for one video, it took me 8 attempts at making the omelet to make it
Oh.
half decent.
Oh my
And
Oh,
God, really?
I ate eggs for a week because I wasn't throwing them away. I just put them in the fridge. I was like, well, that's just scrambled eggs now. So yeah, that was a video.
that sounds like my literal worst nightmare. I don't like eggs, so
What?
Oh, I love
What? Oh
eggs. I
yeah, you
love
don't
eggs,
like.
bro. I was actually not
mm,
that like it's fine. I just
mm.
ate
I
eggs
was
all
so
day.
appalled by that fact I forgot about it.
Yeah,
Dude.
I can stomach them a little bit, but just like a fridge full of scrambled eggs sounds like a literal
See,
nightmare to
a
me.
lot of people don't realize like as a lot of chefs are just really like Neanderthals and we'll just take cold eggs and put it on toast with like ketchup and be like, we're good, bro. We got to
Stop.
get back to
Yeah,
work.
stop.
I'm just
Ew.
saying, I've done worse.
Ew.
That's not, yeah, welcome to the restaurant industry. This is literally what it is. So,
At
yeah,
least do
okay.
something
So,
good, like a nice hummus spread with tzatziki on some toast or something.
you know how much
God.
effort that is for a chef? You're like, no, give me the
No,
bread, give me the cold eggs, and like
just
maybe ketchup if you're
get a
lucky.
Tupperware, get a little like pre-made thing of hummus and slap it on there.
On a hotline,
God.
ain't nobody got time for that. You're just trying to eat.
Uh,
So we're
uh,
making dumplings and we're making omelet, and
yeah,
then I have no idea what I
Yes.
want to make. I have no
yeah.
idea. I really want to just make like really banging karage. That's it.
Ooh,
Ooh,
great
girl, I get.
pull.
Like
That's a tough
Ooh.
one.
like the perfect crispiness, like really
Yeah.
light and airy, like super
Yeah.
like juicy and steamy on the inside, maybe like a really nice like
Ooh.
sauce to go with it.
Dude,
That's what I want to perfect.
I got a place to take you. I was just helping my friend move into her new apartment, and we stopped to get a little snack of karaage. Best fried chicken I've ever had in my life. And I've been to
I want
Korea.
it.
I've had fried chicken in Korea, and like this was on a different level. So good.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
Dude, you guys,
I
I'm getting hungry.
yeah, I know. Like every time we do this podcast, it's like, yo,
Yeah,
I
just
think my
hungry.
stomach is a rumbling, which means
Yeah.
that the time is ticking.
Yeah.
But yeah, Emily, thank you so much for joining us. Like seriously, guys, her info is going to be down below, and we did link it in chat, so make sure you check
Mhm.
her out. She does really fantastic content, uh, based on a little bit of everything, but now a lot of your life in Japan, if I'm not mistaken, and anime
Yeah.
cafes, which we did talk a lot about. So is there anything else you wanted to mention to everyone, whether or not it's a new project you're working on or, anything else really?
Oh man. Um. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
Perfect.
If you feel so inclined, check out my channel. I also have a Twitch at twitch.tv/EmirichuYT. I do want to stream a lot more consistently this year, and actually tomorrow morning for Japan, which I guess would be tomorrow afternoon
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
for America.
America.
I'm going to be doing a Fruit Basket Volume 1 reading stream.
Let's do it.
I'm
We'll
Yay.
put
very
all the info
excited for
down below for
that.
you. Yeah, you
Yeah,
guys
Yeah.
should
thank
totally go check her
you.
out. She's like one of the sweetest anime kind of creators, drawing creators.
Mhm.
Anime,
Yeah.
just go watch her. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for hanging
Yay.
out on FoodTaku. This has been Paul and my lovely co-host Emily. Thank you guys for hanging out. We're gonna go eat
Yeah.
food now.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
I am
know. I
so
know.
I am
I
so
need to
hungry.
eat.
I
We're
need to
talking about food too
literally
much.
shovel. My cat is howling because it's also his